I'll let you know.
Do not adjust your screen, folks. I know that it has been a while, but have no fear. Stoppage time is here. We are missing our usual counterparts, but that's okay. The show must go on, and the show will go on. As always, with me is my sky blue brethren, Joe. Joe, how are we?
I'm doing great, man. Super excited to be back on and talking the beautiful game. I might be Sky Blue Joe on our Blue versus Blue podcast and YouTube channel for the scene. But tonight, we are the Nordic Meat Shield. Representing my boy,
Erwin
Howland. Yes, sir.
And for those of you that don't get the reference, there's it's kind of like a funny video that City put out, and there's this very British gentleman giving compliments to all of the City players as they arrive for training, and he refers to Holland as a giant Nordic meat shield. So, you got that, I guess.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Anyway, tell me what's new, man. Tell me what is going on in the world of Joe Mavor. And I know that you have just completed a trip recently. Tell me about that.
That's exactly where I was going to lead off with. I got to experience views from the 22 and Stoppage Time FC crossover with Man City coming to the States for their US tour. And they took a stop at the iconic Lambeau Field up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I was able and lucky enough to attend. I got to see Man City live and in person in their match against Bayern Munich. So two top class clubs. Both of them ran out pretty much just about their starting 11s. So it was a very, very cool experience. One, you get to see Lambeau Field, which I think is a bucket list item for most sports fans, whether you're a football fan or not. It's pretty dope to see all the history and see that stadium, and then getting to see Man City in person officially for the first time was just completely overwhelming and exciting for me. I got to see their live training session the day before the actual match, so I got to be one of the very few supporters that were there to watch the training session. Get a first look at Erling Haaland and get to see my boy Pep in person and all the City stars. So,
did you cry?
Don't lie. I would say the eyes definitely welled up when I first walked in and got to see them the first time. And I had took several seconds just standing there in kind of awe of what I was getting to witness. So it was such a neat experience getting to see them warm up, go through a light training session to get ready for the match, and then to come back the next day and do all the match day events that City had put on outside the stadium. And we had a couple of lightning delays because there was some poor weather in the area. It reminded me very much of Manchester, though, getting to be in the rain, very much a English football experience with the rain and all that stuff. The lightning delays were actually some of the funnest parts because I was sitting in the City supporters section and pretty much everybody went together. And in Lambeau, it's like a old school college or high school, like college stadium where it's just one massive concourse and that's it. So everybody was together, and the chants for all the City songs and players and everything was just echoing. We were right in the middle of it, so it was pretty dope. Getting to see Erling Haaland's first Man City goal in person, even though it's a friendly, was very, very cool.
Doesn't count, but okay, I'll give you that. Were some adult tasty beverages consumed during said trip?
Oh yes, quite a few on match day. I will leave it at that. I got to meet up with a couple of a couple of my supporters groups. The Capital City Blues are my local supporters club down in DC. And I got to meet up with several of them that also made the trip, and two of my buddies that I've been talking with, and we had a great time. Great
Good.
time.
Very happy to hear it. I wish I could have seen one of the Chelsea matches. Tried to, just couldn't swing it with the schedule. And truth be told, I'm kind of thankful I didn't, because the only match worth seeing would have been the Chivas one in Vegas, and those prices were not
Insane.
worth a preseason friendly. I don't care who you are. But that is the cross that we bear as American football fans.
Indeed. We have a guest about to join us, my friend.
I see that.
First time guest, and we'll
first time guest.
We'll get him in here, and we'll dive into our respective clubs. I guess transfer sagas for this window.
We should have another guest joining us later as well.
Dope. One of our new friends. One of our new friends. Welcome, sir.
Hey guys, how are you?
We are good. We are happy to see you.
I don't know why you're so happy to see me. I don't know why, because I came here to fuck shit up, so I don't know why you came to me.
You cannot ruin my day, no matter how many transfer rumors you want to throw around.
Yeah, I've learned that I can't ruin your day a long time ago, and I have long stopped trying. A very, very long time. The moment I was in shambles about our whole window, and you just sitting there like, oh, okay, nah, we don't need them. Nah, we don't need them. Nah, we don't need Ronaldo. But we about to get Aubameyang. So everything's looking up. It's looking up right now.
We're going from bad to worse as far as these options that we're being linked to. I don't understand it. I know that I do know that this window is not done for Chelsea, and I do know that this window, Chelsea will be one of the teams that will go all the way to August 31st with some of their transfers both in and out. So I know it's less than ideal from a Tuchel standpoint, because that's less time he gets to train with them. But I think that's Bowley's not going to take this lying down, and he's going to.
I believe you. I'm with you. It's just frustrating, man. Like, I hate having to deal with the season started and we still trying to bring players in. And like you said, we don't have no time to train with them. We're going to have to wait like a good 2 weeks for them to catch up to speed and everything. Like, It's just hectic altogether. And the issue, like I've been saying this whole time, our direct rivals, whether that preseason was a farce or not, whether it was a fake showing, as far as how they looked in preseason, as far as I'm concerned, we are in trouble. We are in trouble.
You and Rio Ferdinand are in the same company, I guess, because he predicted Chelsea to finish 5th this year.
Behind Man United, though, is the thing. He put Man United ahead of y'all.
Yeah, he had Arsenal 6th and Man United 4th. How, I have no idea. But cue Houseway Kanye gif.
Yeah, I don't know about that. There's definitely some I play for Man U bias.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't do that. Those former United players wouldn't be at all guilty of bias towards the red side at all.
Never. Why would they do that? Because according to them, they're still like the best club in England. So,
Indeed.
History matters.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Shout out to Julio. History matters.
My guy, Julio.
He should be here later. He's going to try and make it later. I already sent him the link, so don't run away. Don't run away. We're going to see that.
Oh, I'm not running away.
Heavyweight. The only person that could top that right now is if Jimmy somehow appeared on this on this show, and that would, man.
He been
If we
asking
could
to
get
be on
Jimmy,
for a while too.
if we could get Jimmy and Julio on this show, there would be chaos.
Yeah, that
It'd
sounds
be
like
anarchy.
a terrible show, actually. Wouldn't want to see that show.
Oh man.
Christ. But man, listen, this I don't understand everything right now. I guess maybe you know what? I'll even say this. Maybe I'm just spoiled. Maybe I'm spoiled. Maybe I'm used to roaming. Maybe I'm used to things moving this a lot quicker. Maybe I'm still have the Kai Havertz window in my mind where we literally did everything back to back to back. Let's knock all this out. And we was good. And then on top of not even signing people, a bigger issue is it seems like we haven't sold a single person yet, but we're supposed to be getting rid of like 6.
They're coming. It's coming. I think this is part of my thing with Boley is this is his first window. So I think he's this, damn the torpedoes, and I'm going to make this window mine. Yeah, I have a learning curve because this is my first real introduction to how things work.
Right.
As you and I both know, dearly departed Marina, that hurts. She didn't get every transfer right, but we were definitely spoiled in the fact that we had one of the best transfer gurus out there. So it's a bit of a learning curve. It's gonna go till August 31st, and we will see a mass exodus. There will be 5 or 6 players that go.
There are 2 things I think that definitely are kind of threw a wrench in the plans was the delay in the sale. That hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And then the World Cup being in the middle of the damn season, and that means all the Premier League schedule gets bumped up. We're starting Friday.
Yeah.
Normally we would have another 2 weeks.
Yeah,
to
about
go
2 weeks early.
So you guys had those 2 things not happen, there would have been a little bit more wiggle room, and we might not be feeling like the anxiety of we got to get stuff done. Everybody's starting up, and you really don't want to make any. You prefer not to make any big moves once the season gets started. So I think that those 2 things definitely played a role in the slow playing of the window for y'all for now.
You forgot the third thing.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a bigger issue with our window or a team, right?
It's the third thing. Barcelona just manufacturing money. I swear they have a treasury, and they're mortgaging the future.
Financial levers, bro. Financial levers.
Yo,
I hope Diego's watching this. I hope La Liga fans are watching this, because help me understand how this is a smart move by Barcelona. Like, okay, take out the Chelsea bias right now. Like, I'm just a regular football fan.
Right.
How does this help Barcelona in the long term by selling off 25% of their TV rights, selling off, they're literally mortgaging their future for an immediate impact in a league they're already, competing for.
Yeah, I mean,
they always compete in the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, even last season, honestly, they really weren't that bad. They just started off terribly. But even at the tail end of the season, what did they finish in the Liga? Like 2nd or 3rd?
2nd, yeah.
They got brought Xavi in, it was a whole different story.
Exactly. And it's just stupid. Like you said, I think you said it earlier today, like about the salaries. Like, it's dumb because even if you're mortgaging your future for the present, like you said, they still clearly haven't even learned anything about their payment and their wage structure.
Yeah.
So you're literally wagering your future, and you're still doing the same thing that got you in this situation in the first place.
And then have the audacity to ask seasoned players that have spent their entire careers damn near to
legends
to take pay cuts again. Like, bro, no. Like,
I had no idea
I should be getting.
I had no idea Frankie was making $550K a week.
I did not know.
That is insane.
A player on that team, I would
by a large margin. Insane. And I saw if what was it Busquets and Was it Alaba or PK that if they don't take another big pay cut, they're going to be in trouble. Even with another 100 mil coming in from that latest financial lever that they just did.
Well, and I know that guys like Martin Braithwaite,
Yep.
they are furious with him because they told, him and other players to find new clubs. No, man, like that's your responsibility. You find me another club.
If I got a contract, please, I'd be sitting there pretty like.
Just relying on players to just, hey, I'll do you guys a favor, no big deal. Knowing that there's several players who are still owed very large sums of money.
Yeah.
With no real plan to repay them when you're bringing in more players who are making an insane amount of money. All the signings that just made, Lewandowski's making like $375 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like Koundé and Rafinha are both making like $260, $270 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Even worse on Lua part, not that, don't get me wrong, not that he's not who he is and he's not that guy, but that age.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot, bro.
And we're banging a little bit on Barca right now for that, but the players that they brought in, I got no problem with that. Like the players they signed, I think will help them, but it's just the way that they're treating the players currently on their roster that they're not valued. And it's just it's a terrible business model.
Okay, the players will help them, but were they really necessary? Like the players that they brought in were already surplus to what they had. Okay, maybe Koundé, they weren't happy with, Umtiti and Longley and who they had back there. Okay, I get wanting to upgrade, but like Rafinha is a want, not a need.
Mm-hmm.
And
that hasn't left my mind since I read you say it on the page is that I'm truly convinced that Bowley talked to them about transfer targets when they had that dinner. Because there's no way that you literally went after every single player that we wanted. And before we went after them, there was no hint that Barca even wanted these players.
Yep.
At all. Like,
and
out the door. And then we all of a sudden wanted to, contract extended.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Their big ticket thing in the wintertime was buying Ferran Torres from us, and he was going to be the next big thing, and now he's not even an automatic starter.
And that's
Andreas Christensen.
Choice now.
Yeah, that was that they pushed so hard for him on a free because he was going to be their future, starting center back, and now he's back to fourth or fifth choice. Bro, you could be starting at Chelsea this season. Literally.
No, I'm good on that.
You would probably be starting over Chalobah. Agreed. Joe knows my disdain for Andreas Christensen. He's got no spine. He's soft.
I don't even know how Barca don't remember him choking against them when we played them 2 years ago. But
it's a different team, bro. It's a different team.
Oh man, yeah.
I don't know, man. And okay, so Koundé, I wasn't set on Koundé. He would have been nice to have, but he wasn't my first, second, third, fourth, fifth choice. He is limited because he can only play with one foot. He can only play one position, and he gets injured a lot.
Yeah,
so,
I did.
I don't know. I don't wish ill on any player, even given the circumstances. But man.
Nah, I mean, I'm with you. Whenever I say, whenever my caption says good for him, I'm literally not even being sarcastic. I don't have no ill feelings towards none of them players. If that's your dream, by all means, because at the end of the day, as bad as I wanted some of these players, if you don't want to be here, then that's perfectly. I don't want to force nobody to be here. We literally just went through that season, and I'm not going through that dumb shit again.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're not wearing his jersey right now.
Let me tell you, man, it's taking everything out of me not to burn that thing yet. It really has. Truly has. And it's mainly because I literally have every kit from last year and I just don't want to. But I'm really tempted, yo. I'm really tempted. I don't think I'm going to make it through the year with it still. Honestly. I don't know. I wish I could just prove the name.
I know. It's tough, man. It's really tough because like I still follow him on Facebook and like just seeing like some of the things that he posts and how happy he is. And I just like, man, like again, I don't wish ill on any player, but I hope every time you step on a step, you stub your toe. Like that's the nicest insult I can give you. Like you're just soft. And
Cue Kobe.
don't get me wrong.
Cue Kobe gift.
Yeah, like I was super excited to sign him. Over the moon.
Me too.
And you know, he officially pulled the wool over my eyes. I look like an idiot because of it. But you know, I
mean, I'm with you, man. We're in the same boat. I was full on convinced that we would possibly, especially the way we started last year, I was like, oh, we can win the league with him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's so fucking fast.
Yep. But you know what they say? You cannot lose the league, or you cannot win the league in the first 4 weeks of the season.
Definitely can.
But you certainly can lose the league in the first 4 weeks of the season. So we better come out firing, and we have a 6-pointer in match week 2. That is, Tommy better have his team ready.
Who we play week 2?
Spurs. Yep.
All right.
What I found was interesting is I was doing a little bit of research on players who produced the most goal scoring opportunities in the Prem last year, and the top name surprised the hell out of me, especially considering he only played half a damn season. Anybody take a guess?
Is it Reece James?
I was gonna say
no. Reece is like this isn't total number. It's an average of per game played.
Oh, per game.
So okay. That does kind of skew in his favor a little bit, but
was he a Chelsea player?
He is not.
Okay.
And he played half the season?
Mm-hmm. He was actually a January transfer. I'll give you a hint.
A January transfer. Now you really got me thinking. Sheesh. Who was January?
The Tottenham winger?
Yep. Dejan Kulusevski.
I couldn't pronounce his name, but that's who I had in my mind.
He averaged one converted goal per game from his direct passes. Or what do you want to call them? Movements.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, the 6th name on that list is another name that will probably surprise you, considering the position he plays. He is a Chelsea player.
He is a Chelsea player. It's going to be shocking because of the position he plays.
That's not true. The center back?
Nope.
Okay. That's why I stopped. That's exactly why I paused, because I was like, it can't be. It can't be. The only person I could think of, Conte?
Yep.
He created that.
0.68 chances per match played. I was shocked.
I figured when you said we wouldn't guess, I started thinking, I'm like, it gotta be him, because ain't no way in hell I would think that he was out here creating chances. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, you see me up and you ain't asked for nothing. No.
Kids, yes, sir. We know that life.
No.
Yes, sir.
Like, no.
I would be remiss if we didn't mention the Community Shield that happened last week, even though my club did not come out on top on that one. Is what it is.
Paper trophy.
Yeah, that's what Liverpool fans were saying last year. But that wasn't the story in the fans from what I could see on the TV that when they celebrated that Darwin Nunez second goal.
Because
the third goal for him. That was not a paper trophy for them that time.
That man looked like he just won the Champions League and Premier League in his first season. Like,
and what's wild, I think, is that the last several Community Shield winners have not gone on to win or hoist the trophy. So sorry, Liverpool fans, y'all ain't winning the league again.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And like, yeah, okay. I treat the Community Shield kind of like I do the Carabao Cup. Like, yeah, it's cool to win. Like, kudos to you for winning it. However, at the end of the day, no one really cares. I put the FA Cup way higher than that.
Oh yeah.
It's so
for the Carabao Cup. I don't know why, but I think I prefer that. I mean, I don't get me wrong. History matters. History counts. So I'm not discounting it. But I think I prefer. I most so prefer. I prefer the format of the Carabao Cup rather. Carabao Cup is just straight one game. If it's a tie, we got to play it out. Whereas the FA Cup, you have replays weeks later that can interfere with your scheduling depending on what tournaments or cups you're in. Otherwise, I prefer the Carabao Cup. Just get it over with.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, but the FA Cup doesn't replays stop when they get to the quarterfinals, right? Or semifinals?
Either
that goes to extra time.
I think it's semis where it goes to extra time. But through the quarters, I think they do the match replays. So my guy Alex, the Bear of Texas, killing the podcast game. Got several different shows that he does that you can find on pretty much all the podcast platforms. He said in the chat he finds it amazing people were criticizing Erling for missing two big chances, but ignoring the fact that Nunez was missing chances too. I think it's the fact that Erling played the full 90, and the big one they're talking about was in like the 89th minute. Might have been even an extra time where he had a sitter pretty much and scotched it over.
If he wasn't as big as he was, I could have swore that was Timo.
Just a little bit different in the size there, but I mean that wouldn't have probably changed anything at that point in time. And Liverpool, that was their fifth game played in the preseason. We had two against Club America and Bayern, and then we were right into the big match against Liverpool in the Community Shield. And that's not a whole lot of time, especially on the US tour. You're not getting a whole lot of training sessions in. You're getting very light training time. You're doing a lot of traveling, a lot of outreach to promote the sport and the club in a new area. So you're really not getting the heavy training in. So they didn't have a lot of time. And Liverpool were sharper. They seem to have wanted the title more than we did. And I think we were pretty content with just getting our guys some run together for the first time. So I'm not at all disappointed that we lost. I got to watch it down at the bar down in DC, have some nice food, a couple of libations, and enjoy watching with my fellow supporters. So it was a good time. Now it's games that matter at this point. So very much looking forward to the start of the season this weekend.
I mean, I think that as far as the criticizing goes, as far as that game, I mean, that's part of it because Haaland is Haaland. It's almost like, if some no-name player and Ronaldo both are missing chances, we're not going to talk about the other player. We're going to talk about Ronaldo missing chances. And albeit Nunez is good and he does have the potential, and I think he will turn good, we're always going to criticize Haaland more because even I was shocked. I just knew he was going to score that day. I just knew. I don't know how, but it's just in him. I don't know too many games where he doesn't score a goal.
That's been his track record wherever he's gone. It's pretty much been a goal a game for the most part. So it's fair. I mean, it's part of sports. If you're going to have a high profile like that in a big match against your your biggest rival currently as far as Liverpool and City are concerned. Not historically, Julio, if you're listening. We ain't talking about historically. We talking about right now in the present. Okay. Of course, it's going to be magnified and amplified, especially when both teams go out and sign a big money striker to kind of complete their attacking lineup. So it is what it is. We'll take that. We'll take our lumps, and we'll see what happens throughout the course of the next 9 months.
Yeah, I think we care about that community shield, honestly, and it's kind of like you said, they didn't care about it until they won it. But we don't care because, not to brag, but I mean, how many times have we won these competitions?
That's the first time they won it in like 16 years, I think. So
yeah, it's been a hot minute, and it's fine. It's fine to be excited about those things. It's fine and good to be happy that you can celebrate a victory, especially when it's early in the year. It can put you on the right track early, but let's not forget that it's still a friendly match. It's still not considered. It doesn't hold any true weight. Yeah. And that's why I never get spun up about preseason friendlies. It doesn't matter the sport, whether it's spring training, whether it's preseason NFL, it doesn't matter. Help me understand. Because I really don't get it. I don't get the obsession with, fantasizing over, let's take Arsenal. They looked fantastic this preseason. Literally, they looked fantastic. Mm-hmm. If that's the team that we see this season, then kudos to them, because, for a man that was on the hot seat and not producing anything.
I still don't know how he outlasted. Oh, honestly, I really don't. I really don't. It's amazing.
We talked with Big Shot several times on the show during the course of last season. Who was a big Arsenal supporter. And we were like, when's the hammer going to fall on Arteta? And somehow they pulled it out. And I think they've improved this year. They had a pretty good window. They spent a lot, so they better utilize the new City players that they got correctly. But I think they've had a pretty good addition. I don't know if it's going to help them get into the top four, because I think the competition with City and Liverpool and Chelsea and Tottenham, and I think Arsenal are probably for me, those are the top five, personally. And that fourth spot, I think, is going to be up for grabs between those two London clubs, two of those three London clubs.
Fulham.
Exactly. I mean, there's like 8 of them in there right now, so it could have been 8 of them London top team clubs.
I feel that's in the top 4. So
yes, fine.
We do. We've discussed that at nauseum already.
We can. You want to put that money down? Let's do it.
I know where you're going with this. 31st, we done went over this about 5 times. I'm not betting you nothing until I see this window finish and I see this finished product.
So you're being patient, right?
No. I'm unwillingly being patient because I have to. If I had it my way, we'd be done by now. If I had it my way, we'd have a number 7 on our team. But I'm not going to.
We have a number 7.
He's right behind Zac.
He's
right behind Zac.
All I know is bad. All I know is, if I swear, or everything I love, if there's any truth to this Aubameyang rumor or news, whatever, if you tell me we still don't need Ronaldo, man.
And truthfully, I think, and I won't say this because they're not comparable. Like, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo is Cristiano Ronaldo, but as stylistically, they are very similar players. They are not strikers who will play defense. They are not going to track back to the ball, and they're excellent at poaching the ball. Cristiano is much better at creating chances for himself than Aubameyang ever has been. Right. Aside from maybe his times at Dortmund. I think this Aubameyang rumor is coming out of the fact that Aubameyang's best season at Dortmund was when Tuchel was coaching. So I think this is really just fabrication right now.
Okay. I mean, I would hope so. I mean, because if we're going by players who have great scoring records under Tuchel, I mean, I could think of somebody else who's halfway up for sale that we could get, but you're gonna tell me we don't need him either. So,
okay. 1, we already signed a winger. 2, I don't want that extra Charmin soft crybaby bitch anywhere near London. You want to talk about cute Kobe gif? He is the epitome of soft. Soft. No, don't get me wrong. He's brilliant.
No, tell us how you really feel, Zach.
Keep your ass in Paris.
He does have a valid point. I'll say this. I can acknowledge the way that he plays. More than likely would not lend itself to the most physical league in the world.
No.
If he complains and flops or whatever he does in Paris, he might want to go watch some tape of Hazard because that ain't gonna fly here at all.
No, and okay, so let's talk about the career of Neymar. He's played in leagues that are finesse style leagues, right? So started in Brazil, played in La Liga, and then he moved to Ligue 1. Like those 3 leagues are very finesse oriented. They're not physically demanding leagues, which is fine. That is where he excels. And he's brilliant at it. Absolutely brilliant. He is a generational talent. He is soft as baby shit.
Yeah. I mean, I can't deny, as much as I do still want him, that magically being injured on your sister's birthday every year shit. Like
convenient. Real convenient.
Fuck.
Every season.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think we're kind of just getting off on a tangent here. Joe, tell me what your favorite signing is of this window so far. It can be from your team. It can be for another team. It doesn't matter.
And
it can't be Erling Haaland.
I was gonna say it's really hard not to choose him. But I'm gonna go stick in the Premier League, and it's still gonna be a City player, but I think Gabby Jesus is gonna have a really nice year at Arsenal. Sorry, he started off real hot in the preseason, and working with a manager that is already very familiar with him, and finally getting an opportunity to kind of be the guy. His entire time at City, until last season, he was still in kind of Sergio's shadow, and now there's no big star at Arsenal to hang over his head. He's going to be relied upon. They're going to need him to score goals. And towards the end of last season, he caught fire and was putting in goals pretty much every game pretty regularly for City. And I think that he is going to have a really nice year over at Arsenal and push for 20 plus goals and assists combined, not each, obviously. But I think he's going to have a really nice year. I like that signing for them a lot, especially because they were only spending around 45 mil. Whatever you're looking at, that's not that much for a guy who's only 24, 25 years old and plays a premium position like striker. So I like Gabby a lot, obviously. But for Arsenal particularly, I think he's going to do great.
I think my favorite signing, I was thinking that whole time you were talking, I'm probably going to leave the Premier League for mine. And I don't even have proof that this signing is going to be great per se or truly work out the way I think it will. But at the base of it, I'm truly happy that he has left the Premier League. He deserved to leave the Premier League. He deserved to leave the shitty team that he was on. And I've been crying for years to make Pogba great again. So I'm thoroughly excited that he is back at Juventus.
That was not who I thought you were going to say. So with that being said, I actually have two. One is in the Prem, one is not in the Prem. My favorite transfer for this window, we'll get to you, Julio, in a second, man. But my favorite signing so far is easily Sadio Mane. Just absolutely brilliant pickup on a relatively cheap transfer fee. He's going to do amazing in the Bundesliga. I have a soft spot for Leeds's Brendan Aronson transfer. It's a slick, very, very slick pickup. And I don't know if you guys have seen that pass that he had to Patrick Bamford in the preseason. In the middle of traffic, outside foot, curled it right behind the defender. It was a absolutely fantastic pass. So I'm really hoping to see Aronson do well, and Tyler Adams for that matter, because we need the help come December in this stupid ass World Cup window. I'm sorry, November starts in November.
End of November.
Anyway, let us welcome our new friend and boxing in the blue corner. Julio, what's happening, brother?
Can you guys hear me?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, we got you now.
Bit.
All right. It looks like I'm probably gonna have to yell because I'm on the Bluetooth. I'm driving to work, so I'll try to be louder.
No, we can hear you pretty good, man.
All right.
All right, perfect. So I was listening earlier, and my name was mentioned, obviously. So I was like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here faster. Let's go." I'm not even sure I kissed my kids goodbye, but I'm just kidding. I did, but, you know. So we're on what topic? That way I stay on topic, right?
Yeah, totally. We're talking about favorite transfer signings from any league that you'd like.
Honestly, I know that it was. I know he may come off the bench. Obviously, I'm not excited because I'm a Real Madrid fan. So, I know Dembélé is going to start, but I really like that Rafinha signing for Barcelona. I really think Rafinha is going to be one of the best, one of the next big things in football. To me, he has it all right now.
It'll be really interesting how Barca decides to line up with their front three up top because they got a lot of options now.
Right, and that's why I was surprised. Like once they signed Rafinha, I was surprised they renewed Dembélé. I was like, how's that gonna work? I figured, all right, Dembélé's playing games right now. He's probably gonna end up in Chelsea. That's what I thought. He's gonna end up in Chelsea. That's their problem now, you know. But hey, Dembélé has shown he could play on the left. I don't know because they also have Ansu Fati. He's supposed to be the next coming of Jesus, what have you.
Their new number 10.
But I don't know. Yeah, right. Yeah, no pressure. Messi gave you the number, but no pressure, kid. You know.
Good luck to you.
I know that's a number that is common for a playmaker, but that is one of those numbers that I thought was untouchable after he left. I thought that nobody would ever wear the 10 in Barcelona ever again.
Right.
Go figure.
Right. No, I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, I always want Barcelona to finish second or Madrid, but I mean, it's about time that La Liga got this spark where both teams are going to be fighting, for La Liga. It only pushes Real Madrid now. Now we're asking ourselves, okay, what happens if Benzema gets injured? Now what? Who do we have for backup? I really think Barcelona can win this La Liga. I'm not just win it. I really think they could run away with it if Real Madrid have a hiccup.
Well, I was reading and I found it kind of interesting that Ancelotti said that he is not going to bring in another striker and that he wants to use Eden Hazard as a backup 9 to Ben's, which is interesting. I think it takes away from what makes Eden great by sticking him in that central role.
I know this may hurt some feelings out there. I know this may hurt some blue feelings out there. But right now, if I had a choice between Eden Hazard and Marco Asensio starting, it's not even a question, in my opinion.
And that's fine. Like it doesn't bother me.
Doesn't hurt me.
I think that they're both great players in their own right. They're different stylistically. I think Eden thrives in that physical environment, and he's shown that when he can battle teams, and that's what made him so great in the Prem. He's struggling to adapt to the finesse style of game, and that's where Asensio, a Spanish player, is. So I get it. I totally understand it. I don't hate it.
Right. I mean, hopefully he's done eating hamburgers in the middle of the season, playing video games late at night and drinking or whatever. Hopefully, I mean, he was a big talent coming in. I was excited, but that the jersey matters. You know what I'm saying? Like it weighs heavy, and it's like saying, all right, let's take it to American sports. We're in the big Yankees, by the way. It's not the same playing for the Tampa Bay Rays than playing for the Red Sox or the Yankees or the Dodgers. The jersey weighs. I'm not sure he.
Hold on, timeout.
I'm not doubting his skill.
You just compared Chelsea to the Tampa Bay Rays, for Christ's sake.
No. I'm gonna say is I'm not comparing Chelsea to the Tampa Bay Rays. What I'm trying to say is that Real Madrid is the biggest club out there. Like when you go to Real Madrid, it's like every player dies to go to to the biggest club. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just using. I guess it was a bad example, but So.
That would have hurt
the
my
Rays
feelings.
are a winning team now. Well, if you think about it, the Rays are a winning team now. Are they considered a big team? You know what I'm saying? Well, lately.
Here we go.
Not this season.
Here we go.
Hey, yeah. Hey, I told you. I'm like, y'all gotta let me on to defend myself here.
History matters. We get it.
Oh man. But it does. It really does. History is not going to win you a game, but when you want to call yourself a big team, I mean, it matters. It's not.
It doesn't
Golden
hurt.
State Warriors are not
I will
bigger than the
100% give you that. I totally get that, and totally. Alex, our buddy from the Bear of Texas, actually brought up a name that if it wasn't Sadio Mane, my favorite transfer was Tchouaméni. I was really upset that Chelsea didn't get him.
Yeah,
I wanted him way before, and I still wanted him way higher than Declan Rice. And I was not gonna lie, I was really salty and really pissed off that we didn't land him. So right. that signing is brilliant from Madrid.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm sorry.
I said, and Rudiger.
Stop bringing up old shit.
I'm salty. I haven't let that one go yet.
Oh, man, if there was ever a doubt, if we shook in the back, I think this only solidifies Eder Militao even more, because Eder Militao still makes juvenile mistakes. So to have a guy like Rudiger and Alaba behind him, it really, really, really helps. Tchouaméni, I think it's fantastic. I'm really excited for that transition that we're going to have Tchouaméni and Camavinga, because to me, Camavinga I think he's going to blow up to be another big in football. I just wonder who's going to be the next Modric for us. That's my question.
That's a tough position to fill, man. You have two iconic midfielders who you are going to have to replace within the next 5 seasons. I'm saying 5 just because, as legends, they get that extra couple years. We saw John Terry get it in Chelsea, but 3 years is probably your magic number. Both of them are going to have to be replaced, and those are not easy shoes to fill. I think Toni Kroos is one of the most underrated midfielders of all time.
Oh, absolutely. I have his jersey. I love that guy.
That's enough Real Madrid love. I feel sick now.
Yeah. Oh God, I know it hurts. It hurts. To be fair, I didn't just pick Real Madrid. Okay, my parents, my dad was big on it. I grew up watching Real Madrid, so I've always had. I'm more of a fan of football. When there's a club that I really care for, and I actually cried for before, it's Real Madrid. That's it. I mean, I enjoy Liverpool. I picked Liverpool back when it was like the 2007-2008 when Chelsea and Liverpool were going at it in the Champions League. You know, those games were very, those 4-4, those were
epic
matches.
games.
If people haven't watched those, please go back and watch those. They were fantastic. You know, you'd be surprised the players Liverpool had and couldn't win a league. You know, that team was solid.
Yeah,
and you know, it's just they're cursed.
The slip.
Hey man, we're Community Shield champion, baby. Let's go. Let's get it.
There you go. You knew it was coming.
Man, let me tell you something.
No.
I know Joe talks shit about the Club World Cup, but I will rate that higher than the Community. Like,
No,
come on. Of course you would.
Bro.
Of course you would.
Come on, you have to actually win UCL to be in it. They don't count? They don't count for nothing?
No.
Yes, of
no.
course.
As a Chelsea fan, no. Like I couldn't give two shits about the Club World Cup.
That was our first time winning it. You ain't at least want to celebrate that.
I mean, it's cool that Chelsea is, you know, a club that has now won every major trophy that can be won, which is awesome. I could care less, to be honest. It was against a bunch of teams that had no business competing against, in the words of Julio, big clubs, you know. So
here's my
whatever.
issue. Here's my issue with that. My problem with that.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop the video and mute for a second. I'm going in, and I'll be right back on about 5 minutes. All right.
You good, brother?
So my issue with that statement is pretty simple, actually. So I hear you, and I can level with you on that. That's a very valid point and statement. But we've also played in it before, and we didn't win it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I get that and don't get me wrong, these are small clubs that truly, at the end of the day, have no business even being in like the same breath as Chelsea. But for argument's sake, the fact that we didn't just go and boss it the first time around, I don't feel like we're in a position to make that argument. It's not like we've won it 5 times and it's like, we ain't worried about that. We literally played in it and lost, like to a low team that we shouldn't have lost to. I don't know. I'm going to take this victory personally. I am late to the football community. So unlike maybe you, I was not watching in 2012 when we won it all. So this is my first time.
Well, you know, you enjoy it. You enjoy that Club World Cup, sir. You enjoy that fancy gold patch that they wore. I don't give 2 flying fucks about it. I don't care if we never win it again.
So do you rate the Super Cup?
It's all of those trophies are so they're literally participation trophies. I mean, if we're being completely honest, right? So the Super Cup is a participation trophy. The Community Shield is a participation trophy. The Club World Cup is a participation trophy. Like, yeah, it's cool. You add more shiny things to your cabinet. Yay, go team. And this is and I know Joe probably echoes similar statements here because I know that he's got one bugaboo left to get the monkey off their back, and that's I know he's being quiet right now, but I know it's a lot for him, and I know a lot of City fans they want to win that UCL title, and nothing else will compare. They could win the next 15 Premier League trophies, and they would trade them all for a UCL.
I'm not going to lie to you. I really got a kick out of beating them for that trophy. Lie to you. I really got a kick out of beating them for that trophy because nobody expected us to win. Everybody was City this. They finally did it, this, that, and the third. And in my head the whole time, I'm just like, y'all forgot that Tuchel just beat this man like 3 times straight?
I was very vocal. I don't know if you ever watched our preview show for the final. I encourage you to go back and watch it if you have not seen it. But I was very vocal, and I was confident, but I did not. I truthfully, I didn't think we were going to win it. I really didn't.
We have a guest star.
Another one?
Right in front of my face. Did you not see?
Phoebe. Yeah. Okay. I was like, oh damn, we getting all the guests.
But the dog was off my grill. Sorry. I've just been enjoying the banter currently and listening, taking it all in. We as City fans, 100%. I don't pretend to speak for everybody, and that's a City Blue, but I thoroughly enjoy winning the Premier League every season. 4 of the last 5 times. I love that shit. One, because United fans continually rub that shit in our face that we're never gonna reach their level and win as many as they are. We're going, we getting there. And the biggest piece for the Champions League that I want to win is just to rub it in UEFA's face, because those folks have had it out for us for so long, and I want to be able to have our club experience that high. The 3 of y'all have all very recently, at my club's expense, lifted said trophy. So good on y'all. Our time will come, and I was very excited about it. And I will continue to be a good sport and take all the ribbings, because that's what a good sport does, and that's what I am. But we for sure want to lift that trophy. So get out of my face. I'm in. I think Holland is going to help that, and I hope it's this season, but we'll see.
All right.
It's a tough competition to win. So
I do not hope it is your season.
Hey, I wouldn't expect any of y'all to. I hope I would not expect anything different from any of y'all. So
it's how can I say it? If there's a team that automatically is the favorite to win, it's definitely City. I mean, they are definitely the best built team in football. You could say, PSG on paper, but they always leave us with questions, and they don't face competition week in and week out, and it's something that you have to do. Sorry about that.
You're good, bro. Do your thing.
But it does have a valid point. I mean, I do think, albeit at the base of it, I do think PSG is cursed to some extent, honestly, because it's just been too many issues or incidents where it's kind of unexplainable how they falter the way they do. And I say cursed because, prime example, I believe it was 2 years ago, maybe 3. But that year when they got eliminated because of their handball against United was that. Matter of fact, that whole UCL campaign was terrible. Because that's the same year that Spurs beat y'all, right? Mm-hmm. But
that's when Raheem scored to win in like the last second, and then VAR called him off by a whisker of his beard, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole UCL campaign was ass. Even the final between Liverpool and Spurs was fucking. That's one of the worst finals I've seen. One of
awful.
Ours only had one goal, and it was more exciting.
I think PSG's problem and we talked about this last year, and it doesn't look like they've done anything to fix it, at least in my eyes. PSG doesn't have a midfield. You know, they have the best three attacking players in the world, and I have no problem saying that. But the problem is they don't have a creative midfielder. They don't have a Thiago, Cesc Fabregas-esque player who can distribute the ball successfully. You know, you rely on guys like Messi and Mbappe and Neymar to come back to the ball and try and carry it another 60 yards, which it's just not. You're not going to have success in a competition like the UCL if you can't have that.
Right. Now, the way I would do it is, yes, they don't have that creative midfield. I think they have great midfielders, but you're right. They are lacking that creative midfield. I think what they should try to emulate is that Guardiola style false nine and have Messi. The problem is you have to revolve the team on Messi. Is Mbappe willing to do that? Is Neymar? We know Neymar will always fall in place when it comes with, to falling under Messi, but is Mbappe willing to, especially after signing that massive contract that was promised to be the leader of the project? Can you have him get behind Messi? I mean, that's the only option I see them winning anything this season when it comes to Champions League, at least.
I don't disagree at all.
Their manager situation has always been tenuous at best recently with their failures in the Champions League, because I think we all agree that Poch is a quality coach. I think Julio likes him a lot more than the rest of us, but I'm not sure if I don't think he's got the personality to handle the characters that they have and the personalities in the locker room to lead them to where they would like to be.
So,
and I'm not sure the new guy. I don't know much about him, but I know he's not coming with a whole lot of doesn't have a whole lot of weight, I don't think, in that locker room. And considering the amount of control and power it seems like they've given to Mbappe, like you said, with that new contract and the way they revealed everything with their new sporting project, I'm not real high on them in the Champions League. They should walk through the Liga again, but
I think Gautier is fine. I think he's an upgrade over Poch for the simple fact is he is a manager who commands respect. Poch has always been that player manager, right? He's friendly with them, and which is fine. There's a place for that in certain teams. PSG, is not one of those teams, and that's why City is so good. Is because Pep is not that guy. Right. Klopp is not that guy. Tuchel honestly isn't that guy, and I think PSG fired him prematurely, and I know that some people don't believe that, but he took you to a UCL final, and then you fired him, and it blows my mind.
Yeah, that, and he literally had your two best players, because that was before Messi. He literally gave your two best players like their best scoring seasons in their career point. So it really was premature. I was shocked. I mean, obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I'm not going to fucking complain that they did it.
Yeah, amen.
But it was a
amen
when it happened, and I was left scratching my head. Back to Poch, though. Yeah, we feeling different about that. I don't rate him at all, and I'm gonna tell you why. Albeit he had decent success at Spurs, and I guess
success.
That's why I said decent. I mean, it's Spurs.
Top four finishes.
To take Spurs to UCL, I can't really ignore that. I can't ignore you taking Spurs to a UCL final, because I don't know that I ever thought I would see such bullshit in my life. So, but
that's what it was.
The issue is, I think that he worked at Spurs because there's no expectation at Spurs. So, kind of what he did, it was just like, it was good. Oh, we're winning. It's good. They don't win trophies, so him not winning trophies wasn't really a big issue. Whereas, again, PSG, that's literally all you have to do. That's it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. We need you to win trophies. And I don't see him being that guy. I don't see him. He can manage a small club or a smaller club. He cannot manage
He was Tottenham.
You know it. You know it. You trying. You really trying to be funny, especially as a Chelsea fan saying that shit. You really trying to be funny.
It's true. It's
hey,
true.
You better watch
Tottenham.
that the little Tottenham could probably
bring it on.
Third
Bring
place.
it on. I'm not. I don't care.
Julio.
I don't care.
Oh, Julio, let me tell you, they strongly disagree with me. I have made it known that I do not expect us to finish top 4, at least the way we are currently constructed. So
if the league started today, I would agree with you. Now, obviously, Chelsea need to make a top.
The league starts on Friday, bro.
Yeah, well, I get that we have till Friday to. All right, if they had to, like, if there was no transfers after today.
Okay,
I got you.
Right. Then I would say yes. I and it's not just the players on paper, because you can argue Chelsea have better players than Arsenal. It's the feeling around. It's that unknown feeling, and that does take a toll on the dressing room, all that stuff. And Arsenal feel good about themselves. I know it's just season, but they all rallied behind Arteta, who I think they were smart to keep Arteta, because going back and forth doesn't help anybody. Doesn't help the club. Doesn't help the fan. The last thing you do as a club is listen to your fans. Let's just make that clear. Fans, we rant passion. We make shows. We go on Facebook and talk. We go on Twitter, but none of us have ever ran a football club. So I think it's smart that they kept Arteta. Clearly, I can't wait to start that show. I don't know if it releases at midnight tonight, but I'm gonna be on Amazon Prime watching it. It's gonna be funny especially towards the end. Oh my God, I can imagine all the rants Arteta. But I do agree with Ron on this one. I really see Chelsea fighting for that top 4 spot.
Exactly.
Okay, look,
y'all two agree on something? Whoa! Stop the presses.
Look,
we don't have to stop the presses, Jeff. I could bring up another topic that me and him
on. Bring up CR7. I don't give a shit. You're both wrong.
Go. I ain't even say it. Go. There you go.
You don't have to. I'm still trying to figure out how both of you are so dead set on Chelsea losing spots after they signed two world-class players. Now, albeit they lost Rudiger, yes, huge loss, but they replaced him with Koulibaly. It's not like they got worse across the board.
Here's my thing. All right, so here's my thing with that. Did we get worse across the board? No. And maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I'm looking at this as a collective thing right now. And when I say a collective thing, I mean, I'm looking at the way we ended the season, because it's quiet as kept, or if you want to admit it or not, we backed our way into that 4th place, even though we held it down the entire season. Tottenham and the way they finished along with Arsenal, although Arsenal ended up doing Arsenal things, I don't see them necessarily replicating that now with more signings. Spurs have a full year under Conte now. He has a whole summer. He's getting the signings that he wants. They're actually giving him a lot more of what he wanted than we did. So also seeing his success at Chelsea, I'm a little worried about what the fuck the Spurs are going to look like. If I'm being honest, and like Julio agreed, if the season started today and we couldn't make any more signings, we are not finishing top 5. I don't see it. I don't.
Say top 5 or 4?
Top 4, my bad. We're not finishing top 4. We'll definitely finish probably top 5, but I don't see us finishing top 4. If I'm being, the way they ended, both of those teams ended the season last year, because they were hot on our ass. And we had like a 20-point lead at one point against them.
Did you fucking forget that we were under sanctions and a club was in crisis? Like, you don't think that plays into effect?
Right.
So it does. It does. It definitely does. And I definitely think it did rear its ugly head eventually, it was definitely, huh? Okay. But it literally, I don't know. She just threw my whole shit off. I don't even know what the fuck I was saying.
All right. I mean,
it don't matter because it's wrong.
Yes. Chelsea, like I said, on paper, they're still the better squad in my opinion. They replaced Rudiger with Koulibaly, who's a top center back. Let's be real. But Chelsea looked the same. Tottenham and Arsenal have gotten better. Has Chelsea gotten better? I don't see Chelsea better than last year. I'd see them about the same.
Exactly. And we have yet
to. Okay. Time out. How does Raheem Sterling not make them better? He is their best winger, hands down, above everyone. And it's not even close.
You didn't have that was not one of your problem zones. The wing wasn't.
What fucking matches were you watching?
Our biggest issue is finishing chances. We literally had like the most chances created without being finished last season because we have nobody.
Who finishes chances? Your top goal scorer was Mason Mount, who is an attacking midfielder playing wing.
And that's a problem.
That's my point.
You need a striker.
They upgraded that position.
Not only will Chelsea finish top 4 if they get a top striker, they will fight for the Premier League title. I don't see Man City and Liverpool running away with it as much as people say they are. I think they're both going to have growing pains when it comes to transitioning the top 3 that they have, both of them. And this is where I think Liverpool should capitalize. But then again, we also have a new signing in a top role like that. So unless Chelsea can get a solidified, in my opinion, let's just say I'm gonna say it up front. Cristiano Ronaldo, you have to get this, not only for media, not only for jersey sales, but the guy scores 25 plus goals. You're talking about the best striker ever. Numbers say ever. And he still has it. He still has it. I like, bro, as a 9 right now, CR7, I pick him over anybody right now. I know it sounds crazy, over Haaland, over Darwin Nunez, right? Because he's been there, done that, and he's a winner. And that's what you need right now.
Hey, man, y'all might want to mark down this day on the calendar as like the first and possibly only time you'll ever hear me say that something Julio said sounded like music to my ears. But that's exactly how I feel. That's right. Exactly. Literally told y'all. I don't care. Even if you feel like it's not, even if you don't feel like it's progressive towards what you think the team we're trying to build and all that, I hear you on that. But I don't see where it's going to hurt. Even if we try one season, I don't see where it's going to hurt us. If anything, it makes us better. Like he said, he scores like 25 goals a season. Our top scorer was our midfielder, not our $100 million striker that we bought, not the striker that we bought like the year before, who hasn't shown up yet. As much as he gives 150% effort on the field, we have nobody. Oh, and not to mention, we gave up a striker who, if I'm correct, remember correctly, did he lead Serie A in scoring last year or damn near? So, yeah, we have a major issue up front. Who do we have? Bats? Because that hasn't worked out yet. Timo?
Okay.
No.
Okay. There. Let's go there then. You want to talk about Timo? His first year, he combined goals and assists, led the team by far. So I hear you, but no.
But
like Timo. Okay, Timo in the Bundesliga is a striker. Timo in the Prem is a winger, and it's evident because his own national team is placing him as a winger now. So I don't want to hear that shit, because look at Man City. They've done it 4 out of 5 years without a striker.
We are not
without a striker. No shit, Sherlock.
City. I don't know why you made that statement, because we are not them. I don't care if we beat them in the UCL.
You can win the Premier League without a number 9.
You also have to be as seasoned as they are, and you also have to have a complete team that you've had a manager with for like 5 years, who's built the team from like the ground up and literally has all his players. We are only in barely year 2 of Tuchel. Like,
perfect. Keep saying that. Now you want to put in a CR7 who puts you backwards from that mentality. Because he does not, I don't care what you say, Cristiano Ronaldo does not progress the system that Tuchel was trying to build. He doesn't. He is brilliant. Cristiano Ronaldo, I think, is number 2 of all time. I'm a Messi fan, but that's just me. He's brilliant. He is 100% brilliant. I will never deny that. He is a physical specimen from the heavens. Like, to do what he's doing at his age is unheard of. And I will never dispute anything that Cristiano Ronaldo has done. He's a crybaby, but he doesn't help this team. Okay, yeah, he may help initially, but then he hurts us in the long run. That, like, I get what you're saying, but I'd rather have sustained success building towards a long-term competing at the title than a flash in the pan, a 1-year ripple of, well, Cristiano Ronaldo led us to the Premier League title. Great. And now he's gone and we're back to square one.
Well, I mean, I don't view it as black and white as that. I mean, I more so say, I only say 1 year in the aspect of, or at least from your side of things, if it doesn't work, which I don't see that happening. But if it didn't work, I don't see where we can't just get rid of him after 1 year. But even with that being said, even if we did, quote unquote, waste 1 year, clearly from this window, we do not have our shit in order. So we could take that year to get our shit in order. We could find a striker that we actually love and be here to replace him.
And then you're in the same boat. You have to build a relationship with him. You can't foster what you just said is Pep's success. He's had sustained time with the same players to build the culture that he wants. And continually buying strikers is not the fucking answer. And I will defend that to the grave.
For Julio and Ron, if they did sign Ronaldo,
yes,
is that enough to push them ahead of Liverpool or City?
No.
That alone? No.
It's
There's your answer.
It's arguable.
There's your answer.
It's no, because
no,
again,
that's fair. That's not fair, because it's hard to say any one player would boost any team that much, especially considering how far ahead Liverpool and City were against us last year.
That's why are you talking about him like he's gonna change everything? If he is a 1 or 2 year rental,
let me tell you this: if we signed him today, I would stop this. We not placing in the top 4 shit at least. That's a great help alone. Because what the fuck are we without UCL?
Back Arsenal. To little old Chelsea. No, but seriously. To answer Joe's, it's arguable. You can argue that they're making a run because, like I said, the growing pains of both City and Liverpool. And yes, you don't win the season early on, but what you do early on may affect the end. Look how the season ended last season. Had Liverpool not drawn for the 10th time earlier in the season, they probably would have won the league, because that's what killed Liverpool. City lost more than Liverpool. It's just Liverpool can't stop losing or drawing these little games away in Southampton. Drives me insane anyways. But CR7, the way you get CR7 moving, if the club is moving the right way, CR7 will move along with it. The reason why I feel like, and it's not just Zach or anybody else, it's just media period, people period, are seeing the Man U CR7. When we know Man U has had
Juve CR7 is the same. They had less production with CR7 than they did before he came there and after he left.
Juve, right? But Juve, they were already going downwards, in my opinion. They hit a peak and then they started up going this way. And then you bring $100 million signing. It was just not meant to be. I honestly felt it wasn't a good look for both of them. I don't know. For Chelsea, to me, it just makes sense. In my opinion, it really does. I mean, you have Sterling coming into the box, and you have someone in the box that is going to score. He doesn't just maybe. Timo Werner, I'm glad you brought him up because I rate Timo Werner very highly. I as a player, I think he's a very good player. I'm one of the few people who think he is a striker. His first season, like you said, he combined and whatnot. I do remember his first season. He also missed a lot of clear shots, and yes,
they're growing pains that you talked about.
Huh?
The growing pains you talked about.
Because
that's the first year in a new league.
That's like every time.
And then he was thrown off to the wing. I feel like those strikers and goalkeepers are similar in a way. It's all up here. It's a streak. It's you have to baby them almost baby them. You know, hey, you are our guy. You know, strikers are very sensible people. You know, and CR7, you don't have to baby CR7. CR7 is going to get it. CR7 has to feel respected, and people are behind. His club is behind him. And I think that Thomas Tuchel's not there to baby anybody, and that's just where I feel Timo Werner is just not working out for them. I think he's in the wrong club. Nothing bad with Chelsea, it just doesn't match.
Agreed.
I
was excited for him, but he's clearly not a fit. He was a good fit for Frank because that is that type of manager that benefits him. He is not a Thomas Tuchel kind of striker, and that's perfectly fine. I hope that he finds his footing again. I adore Timo Werner. I think he's brilliant. His never say die attitude is I really wish more players had it.
I argue with that man's effort, period. Like ever. Even during his droughts, that man gave everything he had on that field. And I loved him for a second.
What do you think about this, Joe?
Which part?
He doesn't think we need him.
Okay.
The CR7, my own question?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't, even with CR7, I don't see it personally. I think it might take a few games for Liverpool and City to kind of get used to playing with more recognized number 9, because both clubs kind of played with untraditional number 9s for most of the season. Mane, as great as he is, Jota, as great as he is, none of those guys are really a striker. And yet you guys Liverpool still put in goal after goal, and we're running away with games at times. And City obviously weren't playing with a striker until Gabby actually caught fire. Kind of like what you were saying earlier, Julio, about it being in their heads. Once he put in 3 or 4, he got rolling, and we kind of played a more traditional striker role for him. So I don't think it's going to take both of those two clubs very long to work their 2 new toys out and get going. And so with CR7, I don't see them challenging City or Liverpool at this point. I think those 2 clubs are kind of, I wouldn't say head and shoulders, but I think it's them 2 and then everybody else right now. And Zac and I have talked about this multiple times with what he wishes Chelsea would be, which is that consistency, because the constant turnover for years under Roman, and now see what happens with Todd, but the constant change in system, change of players, and not having like a core group. That's what's been great for Liverpool and City, is that they've had great managers, but they've also had a core group of 6-7 players that stay consistent. They might change 2 or 3 here and there every season, but they have a group that they stay consistent with. And that is a huge factor in their success recently. So I would rather them go after somebody like Jonathan David, or a younger guy that can fit in the growth, because like it makes more sense to me. It makes more sense to me to go a little bit younger and try to build the right way, instead of just throwing money at a new striker, or kind of what Barker's doing and mortgaging the future for short-term gain.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Todd Bowley has made it very clear what his goal and what he is going to do with Chelsea. He's made that abundantly clear. He is only signing world-class players. He did it with Koulibaly, and he did it with Sterling. He's buying guys that Sterling that Tuchel wants, which is huge because that was not the thing that Roman did. I love Roman. I very, very thankful for him. But he just bought the hot name, the hot commodity, and told his managers to figure it out. Yeah. Bowie is not that guy, and he's proving it. You want to talk about what he's bought in this window? We need to talk about the 3 signings that we have that nobody's talked about. Gaga Slonina, who is 18, our future goalie. Hutchinson, who was Arsenal's best youth player last year, is 19. And then the kid that they just signed from Aston Villa, Carney, I can't pronounce his
last name either.
These kids are all high-level players, proven high-level players that are youthful. They're also talking about buying Inter's top youth player. Like he's kept Conor Gallagher. He is keeping Broja. He wants to build that team that is youthful, that fits the narrative of what Chelsea football should be. And that's what I want. I will gladly sacrifice a couple years of struggling and growing pains while they right this ship if it means 10 years of constant battling, 10 plus years of constant battling for the Premier League title, constantly battling for, in long late runs in the UCL.
And that's where I was going to get to is like, are Chelsea fans willing to have another striker that just may not work out? You mentioned Jonathan David, there's no rumors, but just that example, that's somebody that we don't know if it will work out. He's good in France. He's good for, Canada. But are Chelsea fans willing? Something you get out of Ronaldo is that he's going to do this. And Chelsea's always been, like you said, with Roman, after the big takeover, they've been a flashy style team. They get the best player out there. And are Chelsea fans willing to weather that? Are they going to be humble enough to understand?
So there's 2 different types of Chelsea fans, right? There's the old heads who are, the diehards that they're not going to like this transition. They're going to hate this transition. But that's because they're already in their prime of, rooting for Chelsea. They don't want to waste those prime years on a rebuild, or a retool. There's the youthful kind of analytical style mind Chelsea fans who realize that if we want any success, sustainable success, that you have to build a culture. You cannot be that flashy one-off team and have sustained success. It's just not. Because yes, as much as I love the Champions League win that we just had, it meant a lot. It was a fluke. It was a fluke. We didn't deserve it. I don't say that. We did deserve it because we won the games. We fought hard. We won the games. But
fair enough.
I'll say this. I'll say maybe the final was a fluke. But the way we played them games, like that Real Madrid, no, you're not going to tell me we didn't deserve that.
And that's why I backtracked, because that set of 2 matches was just the same as this year. That set of 2 matches was some of the best football I've ever watched in my life.
Exactly.
But oh God, I'm gonna really hate myself for doing this. I'm gonna agree with Jimmy on something. That the UCL is a competition where it's a lot like March Madness, right? If you are a hot team and you are playing well as a hot team, you can win the UCL.
Yeah. Not necessarily the best team will always, because in that case,
correct,
with it every freaking year. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, and it didn't get cheated.
As their little kids,
Ajax should have won that year. when they had everybody, when they had DeLitt and Ziyech and all them, Ajax should have won that.
This is why I'm pro Super League. I want to see this happen. I want to see this every week playing a league style to see who really is the best team out there. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
you know that to me would really attract me. But I understand you, Zach, when you're saying that it was a fluke. Chelsea were not, especially after managerial change. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
You know, it's only happened one other time, I think, and it was with Chelsea.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
What we do.
That Mourinho got booted out.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, I still remember that Champions League win. Jeez. It was a hell of a match at Bayern Munich.
That was so good.
I admit that season that final, I was rooting for Chelsea to win that final.
It's okay. It's okay.
And, it is not recorded, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's live, bro.
No, but yeah, those it's tricky because if you think about it, you can say and Real Madrid this season, you know what I'm saying? They were not the better team. They just know how to win this competition. They understand the moments and the minutes, you know, when to turn it on. Like you can't expect Cruz and Modric to run after Man City all game. It's just not gonna happen. And City's that team that will wear you out. Is the only team that I see better than City and doesn't even play in this era was Guardiola's Barcelona. That to me was the best team to ever touch a pitch, in my opinion, from what I've seen at least. You know, it was really hard years for me growing up. It was hard. It was 5-0, 6-2s. They made me cry. I cried out of frustration. It's just understanding the moments, and that's the magic about this cup. And this is where I know I'm gonna go. Oh, here we go. Julio is. This is where I say the jersey matters. History matters. The players understand what that jersey means, what it is to play in this moment. And if Real Madrid had to do it one more time, they do it again. You know what I'm saying? If there was another team out there they had to overcome, they do it. Even Liverpool. Liverpool should have ran away. This final should have ended 4-0. Liverpool was that much better than Real Madrid. And when Salah was missing, and this is where I told my friend who was sitting next to him, like, Real Madrid got this in their pocket. Simply because Liverpool couldn't finish it. It's just and this is back to the topic. This is why we're saying it was a fluke, you know. It was a fluke. It wasn't supposed to happen, but hey, kudos to them. They beat City, who keep City being little City. You know how they say over there.
Yes, we do. And trust us, we all know our history because we had to live that down shit for so long. So we for sure understand the magnitude of winning that trophy. Case in point, if you ever watched the fan reactions to the 93-20 goal on YouTube, there are several documentaries done. And you can see
moment ever.
You can see how much that shit meant to the fans that were there, and still means, because we all still get goosebumps and chills every time we rewatch that stuff, because it was so many years of disappointment and typical City and all that kind of stuff. So
are you even human if you don't? I mean, and here we go. I hope it's live. I hope they don't throw it easy against me. I was excited for City at that moment. It was just an epic. And the best part of it all is the face that Phil Jones puts after the
juxtaposition of City scoring to United walking off the pitch thinking they had just won the trophy, and hearing the result and all of them turn and look at the scoreboard in the stands, and all the fans, like, you could just see their spirit just fall out of their face, and then to go back to the elation and the euphoria that was going on at the Etihad.
The best, in my opinion. It was the best moment in football that I witnessed. It was that epic. That's why when people come here or anywhere, and they say, well, can Liverpool be considered because they haven't won in 30 years? I'm like, bruh, stop. This club's been hundreds of years without winning. So, and even then, only one club has passed them, and by one. And I suspect this season it's going to be tied when it comes to league titles. I really think Liverpool edges out City this season.
That's a good segue because we're running short on time. We've been very long-winded in this. So I figured the best way, we all know how the Bundesliga is going to end. That's the Bayern Munich Invitational. We know how League One's going to end, because let's face it, PSG draws and loses every match and somehow are 13 points clear every single week. I don't understand it. La Liga is a two-horse race. I have Madrid winning this year.
I don't.
Joe, who you got?
I am gonna go with the repeat champions because I think Barca still has issues in the back, and I trust the back line of Madrid way more than I do with the guys in Barcelona.
All right, Jack, who you got?
I have Madrid personally. I've kind of favored Madrid over Barca anyway, but yeah, I know Barca got good towards the end of the season when Xavi took over and everything. And don't get me wrong, I do think it will be competitive. I'll even go as far as to say that they'll probably split Clasico. But I guess kind of, I can't believe I'm about to agree or echo something Julio said, but I'm going to say understanding the moment and everything. I just got Madrid, man. They're just a better team all around to me. On paper, or maybe as a complete team, Barca may have some better or more attractive names, but I just love that Madrid squad. Benzema last season was just out of his mind. That's the best I've ever seen him play without Ronaldo around him. Vinicius finally took the stage and said, I'm here. And that midfield, whether it's Modric and Kroos or the two that they just signed, and you know how I feel about Rudiger, I don't see Barca winning it. I just don't.
May God or whatever you guys believe in hear you. I hope. my issue is I'm sorry. My issue is, yes, everything you guys said is correct, 1,000%. There's no argument. Everybody knows that the midfield and the back. I do think Barcelona's improved in the back. I really rate Araujo and Koundé very well. That right back position, who knows? It's still unknown. The left back, Jordi Alba, say what you will, Jordi Alba is still world class. Now, my problem is I don't rate Rodrigo as high as people say. I think he's a good squad player, somebody good. I think Asensio after his injury lost it. He was supposed to be the next big thing. He lost it when he came back. What happened? Who covers that right side? Because Valverde it's not sustainable. He's a top player, but him in that position is not sustainable. What happens if Benzema gets hurt? He's 32, 34? I forget. I'm sorry. If he gets hurt, Barcelona has options up front. They have options. I was really hoping Real Madrid would go against whatever Carlo Ancelotti said and go get somebody. I was hoping for a Rafinha or Anthony. I rate that kid more than I rate Rodrigo. Hopefully, Man U don't take him, but we need more up top. And there is, I don't know if you guys, obviously you guys don't understand Spanish, but there's a show that I watch in Spain. They're on vacation now, but there's a rumor that Mariano's going to be out, which I'm glad because he's just not Madrid caliber. I think he's a decent mid-table club striker. Raúl de Tomas, he plays for Espanyol. He's a good, solid 9, a good La Liga. Is he going to be the Real Madrid star? No. Be somebody's good, but he's not Benzema. Lewandowski gets hurt. You have Aubameyang. You guys can Aubameyang's a quality player. He just is. So this is why I think Barcelona edges out. They're not going to. I know I said earlier they're going to run away with it, but I'll fall back on that. I said it's going to be tight, but I think Barcelona gets the last laugh. Although I do think they get down the round of 16 of the Champions League.
That's fair. All right, rapid fire. Give me your top 4 Premier League finishers. We'll start right back with you, Julio.
Okay. Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, and right now, if it stays the same way, Arsenal.
Joe.
We go for our 5th in 6 years. So City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and then Tottenham.
Jack?
I kind of have 2 lists. So I'm a
No. You have 1 list.
Okay.
Say it.
Okay, I'll say it then. I'll go City, Liverpool, Spurs, and I'm gonna just follow Julio. Honestly, if it stays as is, Arsenal. If changes happen, then I could see us.
That's
Zachary?
That's fair. It's pretty clear cut for me. I have City winning, Liverpool a very close second. I honestly, this season could be a toss up for me. I could see it going either way. I wouldn't really be mad either way, but whatever. I actually have Tottenham right now. I have Tottenham 3rd, and Chelsea 4th. Now, whether Tottenham do Tottenham things, Harry Kane is still a ghost. He cannot finish. The fact that he has wasted Humane Song for so long, that man needs to find a new home, because you want to talk about world-class players.
Man,
Humane Song is.
I loved him since Bayer,
but not good enough to make the team of the year.
Yeah, well,
and won the Golden Boot, or at least co-won it, but whatever. What are you going to do?
Exactly.
Until next time.
Yeah, until next time. Oh, and Pochettino is a great manager, by the way.
No, he's not.
All right, guys.
Are you still there? Did we lose you again? We might have lost Zach again. No, there he is.
And there he is.
All right.
Frozen for a second.
We're back. Yeah. We got storms here in Ohio, so I think that's what was causing it.
Yes, sir.
But I want to thank all of you for coming on. I'm so happy that we finally got Julio and Jack on. This is long overdue. We wanted to get more people on here. I'm sorry to our fans for going an hour and 45 minutes. That was not intended. But if you did stick with us, I greatly appreciate you. Just know that we have more of this to come. I would love to have these gentlemen back on again. We are not going anywhere. We are planning for every other week right now on a Wednesday, 9 p.m. I'm Zach. That's Joe, Julio, and Jack. This is Stoppage Time FC.